so.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell me what projects, if any, you're working on right now.
Well, me.
Yes, tell me.
I am a Projector 5-1 and did the classic hardcore corporate world for 30 years in construction, project management until I wasn't listening to the universal slowdown. You're not a generator, and my body was shutting down, literally, health-wise. So pretty much left life as I knew it and gave myself 6 months to get healthy, and that was 10 years ago.
I love that.
Gosh.
We've talked before, right?
No, no. I've been following Karen for the last year or so in human design.
Okay.
Just the more I learn, the more I know I don't know, but just really resonated and obviously love her and her style and looking to live in alignment. So to answer your question, I've kind of been in a little hiatus, helping my fiance the last 6.5 years launch a business for senior wellness, senior care. But I realized that I am wanting and needing to do my own thing. And what keeps coming to me and what I've done pretty much all my life is help people with their space. And so I'm wanting to launch a business, and I thought of the name Clear Space because the crazier things get out there, I think it's all the more important for people to have sanctuary and clear space to support them in their home, whether it's the garden, office, or home.
Nice.
So yeah,
Nice.
That's kind of what I'm looking to birth. And yeah, and also my art. I'm embracing my inner artist.
Nice.
That's kind of
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, do you mind if I ask you some questions?
No, not at all.
All right. Welcome, Carol. We're just jumping in here with Martha. So, what have you done, if anything, toward launching this business so far?
Coming up with a name and it's kind of percolating.
Okay. Do you have a website right now?
I don't. And that is one thing I've done is I'm asking friends and people that I've helped for testimonials to gather for the website.
Okay. Do you have a social media presence?
No.
Okay. And in a perfect world, how would you find a new client?
Word of mouth.
So what does that mean exactly? Like calling your family, going to a breakfast meeting?
Yeah, breakfast meetings and letting friends and family know that I'm birthing this business and some women's groups I belong to. I don't want to advertise per se. I want it to grow organically
Sure.
and word of mouth.
Sure. And tell me, when you say helping people with space, what that means. Is it clearing? Is it interior designing? Is it feng shui? What is it?
It's all of that. It's all of that and more.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just helping people. I find that I'm a very visual person, and I find, and it comes to me very innately and intuitively, but I find a lot of people, and I think the same goes for all of us, it's kind of having an objective third party to put one's imprint on their space. I think a lot of interior designers put their mark on a client's space, but I want to help people figure out how their space can best support them. So yes, clearing, organization, feng shui are some of the tools in my toolbox. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what, if anything, do you believe is the next step? And the follow-up to that is, do you need any help, advice, brainstorming, support today?
Today, thank you for that. I think today I am literally just kind of incubating this. I will need support, and I welcome any input you or any of the others have. I need to be getting a website, cards, and moving forward. So just any, if there's a recipe you have for launching a business or things to think about, I would welcome that. I'm very early on.
Awesome. So what I will tell you is this is a long time ago here,
Mhm.
so it's nice to see the women. Hi, everyone. Can relate, I think, age-wise to me, but back in like the late 80s or the 90s or whatever, not saying any of you guys are old, but
Right there with you.
um, I knew a lawyer who didn't, and this is before websites, right? And
Mhm.
I knew a lawyer who had a full practice and did not have business cards.
Hmm.
And I met him and I said, I'll take your card. He says, I've been just too busy. I ran out 3 months ago and I haven't had time to redesign one. And he wrote
Hmm.
a number on a piece of paper and so what I have never forgotten that. And what that
Mhm.
tells me is it's never about the website, the business cards, the
Mm.
branding, the advertising,
Mhm.
right? And
Mhm.
that's where we all seem to go first.
Yes.
We're always like, well, I have to do my website before I can open my business, right? So,
Mhm.
yes, those things are nice. And that doesn't stop people from buying from you if it's a match.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
if you're ready, you just tell people that you have this business called ClearSpace and kind of come up with your 3 or 5 sentences about what you
Yeah.
do.
The elevator speech. Yes, that's what
Yeah.
I'm working on, getting that succinct and clear. Yeah.
And yes, work on business cards and yes, work on the website, but don't use that as your excuse to not
Mhm.
launch. And I use
Okay.
excuse lightly, right?
Right, right. No,
Because we're all amongst friends here.
right.
But
No, yeah,
yeah,
I
but
get that and
I
appreciate
just
it.
always remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lesson for me too. Like I'm always doing sales pages. I'm always tweaking this and that. And then I realize all I need to do really is get on the phone with somebody who expressed interest once. And
Right. And I really appreciate that you and Karen said that yeah, and it's getting out there.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
good.
I love Moo cards.
Mm-hmm.
If you know
Mm-hmm.
them, but there's also another one that's out there now that has really cool tapered corners.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a new one. So they're kind
Mm-hmm.
of like rounded tapered corners. That's a really cool. And I'll try to find that for you and send you.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
because it would be, if you are going to do business cards, it would be nice for the same price to get something a little more unusual and modern.
Yes. Yes. I do have cards now, but it's MLM Creative. And they're unique in that they're very thick, but I want something with my name. And maybe it's just for me, but something
Yeah.
to commit and put out there. And
Well, and if you are going out there in the networking, you're going to want
mhm,
something to hand people.
yes.
Well,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Good.
Awesome. Well, so
Good.
good to meet you and
Thank
welcome.
you.
And thanks for being an early adopter.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm called to join in, and thank you.
And Karen's teaching all day something. I'm not sure what she's teaching, but just to let you guys know, she and I are going to be doing things together and also things separately. So
Great. Good.
awesome. Thank you. All right,
Thank
Gloria.
you.
I'm going to mute you, Martha, but
Okay. I was going to ask if I mute me or you mute me.
we can both do it. I'll do
Okay.
it because I see the button. So you're muted now. Gloria.
Hi, how
Hi.
are you?
You're good. You're over there nodding. I'm not going to forget you, Carol. So,
No,
but you're
I'm
there
just,
nodding, so I thought I'd call on you and see how you are and welcome.
I'm just nodding because I'm really excited about you and Karen launching this new community. I think it's fantastic. I think that you have incredible intentions. You bring an incredible amount of background, experience, knowledge. Good spirit, good heart, and a lot of us are gonna benefit from you holding these meetings and creating opportunities for people to interact with each other, specifically around their business ideas, their goals, their needs. I think it'd be very encouraging. I have
Thank you.
business cards. I've had business cards for a long time.
Nice, Gloria. I see
On the front is the name of my business,
you
and
had an email. Yep.
on the back are the different services that
Human
I.
design, astrology, spiritual counseling, regression. Yeah, and a website. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Nice, Gloria.
I haven't used them a lot to tell you the
Great,
truth.
great. Because unless you're out there networking in your own community, you tend to
Exactly.
not use business cards much anymore.
I know, you know.
But some people do. So tell me what what it is you're working on right now, or if there's anything you're launching, or any
Uh,
questions.
well, I'm not actually launching anything. I've had my website for I don't know, 7 or 8 years, and I've continued to develop it and deepen it as I've added more services via certification. Um, but and the big thing in my life is, I am trying to streamline my life. I have too many different irons in different fires, and they don't come together to support each other. So my big thing is trying to unclutter my life so that I can focus more specifically on my business. I just have too I just have too many interests, um, and I'm really at the place where I have to bring in more money. So I really need to bring in my business. But I'm somebody who's, like, I'm a volunteer um, person, and I've spent too many years of my life trying to take care of other people and circumstances and organizations. For example, I've been 4 years on a board of directors at the apartment complex where I'm at. It's not a paid position, but so many things here have needed work, have needed help. The infrastructure has been falling apart. The policies have been terrible. People's needs haven't been met. It hasn't been a wonderfully habitable place. And I've been kind of at the pioneer edge of recreating that and making it a better place for people to live, but it's taken a huge amount of my effort and energy, time and attention. And on top of that, I also, because I live in New Mexico and I live in Albuquerque, and a lot of people abandon their cats. And since I got here, I've been doing rescue efforts on my own. And that's taken a lot of my time because I do sweeps and then I do a lot of care and rehab on my own. And it's like the stuff that I like to do, also counseling people, guiding people, helping them with, getting them back on track, getting them back in touch with their value and the reason that they're here. Because as an aside, I want to tell you, the journey of the soul is something that I've been on since I've been 4 years old. So I've studied through regression therapies, and I've studied reading a lot of things about the whole evolutionary process of how the soul makes its way through time and space. So I know I'm throwing a lot of things out there.
So let me just ask you a question. Take a deep breath and put your feet on the floor, and all of us can do this, right? And just think down through all the way through your solar plexus, your dantian, all the way down through the bottom soles of your feet. And tell me right now, in this space and time, where you are on your soul's evolution right now, what is the one place that your soul would encourage you to focus for this, let's say, the next 6 months?
What I can say is that there's a shift taking place with where my focus is in my work, and I'm allowing that to happen. I'm not exactly clear what that is. And so I think what it is creating space to allow this additional dimension or additional direction to make itself known, but I can feel it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've spent years helping people track their soul purpose, get their reason for being here. I've been at that since I was 4. And I have articles on my website where I talk about how to do this, how to identify the signs and the signals. And now I want to do something more. I don't want to focus on that so much.
Right. So I get that. So is the answer, and I'm not a human design expert here by any stretch of the imagination, but what type are you?
I'm a projector.
Okay. So I invite you to be in the possibility that it's time to focus on your business
Yeah,
and not on your volunteer work,
yeah, I agree.
and allow the possibility to come into your business. But I did hear you say you want your business to go to the next level, and you want some income, and you feel spread too thin. And that doesn't mean you can't also do cat rescue and apartment volunteering and other things that you enjoy doing, but maybe there's one place where you focus more for the next 6 months or so.
Correct. Correct.
And that feels intuitively right for me. And I invite you to be in the place where it's not your job to take care of everybody right now. It's your job to lead some new people into this new way of being. How does that feel?
You speak the truth. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about it. And I do have an inkling of the direction that I want to go in. I want to deal more heads on with just the practicality of life, of dealing with all kinds of challenges and circumstances. I'm very attracted to dealing with grief and trauma, and just the hard stuff.
Yeah, and you have all the tools. I mean, I saw a whole list on the back of your card, right? Human
Yeah.
design, astrology, regression. I couldn't see them all, but you've got a whole bunch of tools. So it is helping. I think it's more guiding and leading people into how they can live their best life in this crazy world, right?
Yes, exactly. And dealing with the terrible challenges that come up. I mean, with shock. I'm like first responder type person. I have a first responder temperament, and I'll go into the most horrific places to do rescue. I mean,
well, there's not going to be any lack of place for you to go in the next few years based on what's happened the last couple of years.
Right.
There's a request from Martha to share your website. You want to stick it in the chat for us so we can?
Sure.
And I want to go to Carol for a minute too and just say hi to her and acknowledge that she's here. And then we'll dive in if anyone has specific questions. Okay, I'm going to mute you and we'll go look at your website and I'll come back to you, Gloria. Hi, Carol. I've unmuted you. I just want to say hi. How are you?
I'm fine, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to have you here. Tell me if you're working on any specific projects, or tell me anything you want to tell me so I can get to know you a little bit.
Well, I have a website, and I am a feng shui consultant, and I am a dowser, and I have been studying human design. I use hexagrams in my feng shui work. So I was particularly attracted to the aspect of human design that talks about our hexagrams.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to incorporate a product to accommodate people who are interested in using hexagrams to boost their vibrations in human design.
I love that. So I study Tai Chi, and there's a lot of hexagram work in Tai Chi as well, but I'm not versed in that because there's so much, there's so much to learn everywhere, right? But I know that the Tai Chi masters use hexagrams to help people energetically clear their meridians and clear their energy and so forth. So that's a really interesting idea.
My problem is where do I reach the people who are really interested in this kind of thing? I mean, where I am in upstate New York, it's very rural. People are not into a lot of energy work.
So I think, so a couple of things. Are you online much? Do you do anything online? Do you have social media presence or not?
Yeah, and I do have a website.
Yeah, I heard about your website. Do you do like
Sometimes I spend, yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Okay, so you can
I have not really used it.
Okay, so if you want to, you could find your audience there. But I would also tell you that there are many people in upstate New York who need what you have. The world is changing. I don't know where you find them exactly, and you may have to travel or drive a bit, or you may need to work on social media a bit to find those people. Are you thinking about doing live classes or something downloadable or something on like this website, or I mean a website?
Well,
like a meeting?
I actually create a hexagram based on people's incarnation cross.
So you're talking about doing like readings over the phone and creating one is something that you would do over the phone, not in person. That's what I'm asking.
Can you see this?
Yep.
Okay. These are the 4 hexagrams that comprise the incarnation cross. And each hexagram gives off a vibration because that's what hexagrams do.
I love that. That'd be cool jewelry.
Yes.
I'd love to wear that around, right, over my heart. That would be really cool.
So maybe I need to appeal to the material aspect of people's wants and desires and create something that is more attractive.
Well, let me go back and ask the original question. When you create this, are you doing it over the phone? Are you doing it in person? How are you doing an initial consultation with somebody?
Well, I have attended several psychic fairs. So
Okay.
I talk to people about what this is and explain that it's based on their own human design. That is doable over email.
Okay, so you
I
run
don't-
a chart, and then you create their hexagram, and then you send it to them in email.
Right.
Okay, that's
Right.
all I was trying to figure out. I think, well, maybe this community will be interested. Maybe that's a way to reach people. How much do you charge for that?
This is $50.
Okay. And do you send it like on a PDF via email?
No, the communication is by email. I
Right.
print this out so that it's archival. And then I actually physically US mail the finished product.
And how much do you charge for that?
That's 50.
50. Okay, for all of that, for all of it.
Right.
My intuition says that if we worked on the presentation of that a little bit, so do you send it in the frame?
No, the frame is up to the person because
Okay.
if they get
closer.
glass, it might be breakable.
Hold it close. Hold it close. Are they cards? I can't quite see the quality of the paper.
Well, this is
on?
behind glass.
Right. So I can't tell. What do you normally print it on? Is it cardstock or what do you print on?
Yes, it's on cardstock.
Okay.
And it's an archival printing process.
I'm going to think about that. I would love to put that in one of our discussion groups. I think you can attract some people with sending them a physical product, but I think less and less people are hanging that kind of stuff up on the wall now because everybody's simplifying and clearing and right.
Mhm.
So it'd be interesting to brainstorm a little bit what else people might like. Like I would like something small just to put on my desk or on my altar.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I would wear something.
Okay.
I would print that out and put it in my journal. but it would be interesting to see what other people would do as well.
Okay.
I love
I'm
the
open
idea.
to suggestions.
Yeah,
That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, and what you're doing is obviously working because you're doing it, right? But it's like, how can you
Right.
reach more people? How can you reach a new audience?
I just want to help more people.
Yeah, it's a cool idea because it's a little bit different than what other people are doing. Awesome. Well, it's cool to have you here, Carol. Did you have any specific questions today, other just how to reach people in upstate New York?
Not that I can think of right now.
Okay, well, it's going to be fun to see where this goes over the next little while. And I know there's people in upstate New York. There's, a big portion of the community that's moving to more rural areas to be more in touch with nature and their spirit and their heart and so forth. So I know they're there. Where in upstate New York are you?
I'm just south of Ithaca.
Okay. I know it a little bit. Not real well, but a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Hey, Agalia, I see you. Let me see. There's all kinds of people here. All right. I'm going to mute you. Carol, it's nice to meet you. And I'm going to go look at Gloria's website and then say hi to Carrie. Did I say that right? Kari? Okay, I can't hear you yet. Hey, Gloria. Hold on. Hi. Is this Karen, Carrie, Kari?
Care.
Care. Everything. How are you? Welcome. It's so nice to see you. I love your flags in the background. Where are you?
I'm in my office.
What part of the world?
Oh, Georgia. I'm in Georgia right now, Marietta, Georgia.
Nice. Well, it looks those. Sorry, I'm peering into the.
They're goddesses. They're all goddesses.
Oh, nice.
And they're over my hot tub, which is the love tub. They're over the love tub, which is really my office. I mean, I do my best work from my hot tub.
Nice. Awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell me what. I'm sorry. I'm going to Gloria's website. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. So tell me something about you and what project you're working on right now.
Well, I'm really into human design. Like, it's blowing my mind. I've been doing it for years, and I think I've passed the 7-year mark of integrating.
Cool.
So I am a projector. So I'm really thrilled to be invited to be part of something, you don't know, something like this, something that's wonderful. I mean, I get other invitations. I'm sure Gloria gets, but the big invitations are what I've kind of been waiting for and hoping for. So this is a big invitation to me. I want, you and Karen, I think this is big. This is really big.
Good.
So I consider myself a transformational educator. And I have done a number of things. I've had a number of different careers and life paths. And I can see now, looking at my design, that it's all been perfect to get me right here. I have a business. I have like a kind of Clark Kent superwoman, kind of Clark Kent. My Clark Kent business is my mission is to end the divorce business as we know it, divorce with children. I'm an advocate for children. I'm an expert on children, and the divorce business, which is a racket, it is a corrupt system that actually harms children. And I've been doing that for now, since 2002, I started my business to help families in transition do things in ways that are not going to hurt their kids. And it's a big job, and I have a staff, and part of this is I want to grow that business more. The business comes to me as a projector. I'm not supposed to work.
Right.
So, but I work a lot. I'm one of those, I work a lot. I work hard. And so my joy is I teach a joy class. And I've taught a joy, it's called The Joy Class.
Right. We talked on email.
Pardon me?
We talked on email.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm excited to make the Joy class more accessible to more people. Includes human design because I think that's the way to joy for people. And right now I'm working on a book. My project is a book, which is games, joy games. I think I might call it Games for Game Changers. And it's a bunch of games, which is my favorite teaching modality, is for people to play games.
Nice.
Mind games and emotional games and physical games and spiritual games. So I'm
Nice.
writing the games down. I've been documenting this for years because I journal everything. So just taking all my notes and creating more of the joy class. I did summer camp, so that's why I'm kind of, I was just on Karen's other mystical path, and I'm going back between you or this. I want to be part of this group, but I want to see the mystical path stuff too. So what I'm really working with in terms of human design right now, though, are the variables. I'm fascinated by the variables, and that is, that's what so I'm wondering, perhaps as you create your pods, and we have more and more people here, that maybe we could do pods by variable, if that's a possibility down the road.
I'll talk to Karen about that. I am not the human design expert, but she's going to be doing these kinds of things as well. So,
Sure.
and I'll throw it out to her when we talk at some point. At some point, she's teaching today, I think.
Yes. So,
So,
I'm thrilled to be here.
do you need? Yeah, welcome. So, do you need help with anything specific today, like any brainstorming or thoughts or something you're working on? Or?
I think just being part of this group and looking at these women and feeling like I'm with some like-minded, conscious creators here, that's good. I need helpers. I need people helping me, and that's one of the things I'm going to be looking for is help.
Awesome.
Yeah. So
We all need the energetic support right now, I think, because it is a crazy world out there.
yes.
Thank you. Gloria says Karen doesn't teach the variables. Okay, see, I don't even know.
Okay.
Yeah. But thanks, Gloria. Okay. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Hi, Agalia. I'm going to unmute you. How are you? I unmuted you, but I don't hear you there.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can. How are you?
Well, I'm doing all right.
What's going on?
Oh, I am, well, this past Mercury retrograde, and with all the other planets are in retrograde, it's been a time of reflection and a time of, for me, getting more clarity about the direction or the focus of what I want to do. And I am deeply into human design also. And I think things are coming clear. I'm trying to launch a program, and this is what I want to do as an ongoing series of programs around breast cancer and the support systems that people need during this time, handling all the expected grief issues and dealing with those, and just in helping people to move past, just the pain and grief of having had breast cancer.
I think it's would be fairly interesting for you to do a support group that people could come in and out of. Yeah.
Yeah, that is what I want to do, is support groups and that people can come in and out of. But I'm going to start kind of like a pilot program fairly soon. And I was working on my sales page, and I am not a person that likes to step out and be seen. So I really am fighting my natural tendency to hide. And of course, I have to get out there before anybody can see me. I do have a web page, but I drive no traffic to it. I do have a page on Facebook, and I practically don't touch it and haven't for months.
So it's been crazy energy right, on the planet. And I think part of what Karen and I are hoping to do in this community is to help navigate the new ways that are opening up in business for us to attract and magnetize our clients. And it's in a different way than attract and magnetize, typically we've talked about for the last 20 years, or law of attraction, or any of those things. I think we're on a different vibrational level now. And I don't know exactly what that means yet, but we are all going to discover it. And so if you're called to post on your Facebook page or not, I'm not sure that's the be all and end all of how you might attract your clients. And I don't know that we know the answer right here in this moment, but I trust that you have been going through whatever process you've needed to go through while we've had solar eclipses and solar returns and solar moons and Mercury retrograde over and over again, and floods and fires and hail and, all the craziness of the last couple of years, really, it feels like. So I'm just saying, you're doing the piece that you probably were supposed to be doing the whole time. Tell me what's going on with your book, though.
Oh, the book is in handwritten form. I have not transcribed it to typing. I am trying to figure out if I need to try to dictate that into my computer, or try to just type it up, or try to send it off. I think I have fears that if I send it off to have someone else to do it, that my handwriting is absolute crap. People, I'm a nurse, but people said I should have been a doctor for my handwriting. So I don't know that anybody else could interpret my handwriting anyway. Half the time I can't, and I have to just try to figure out what I tried to write at one point. But I have, what it is I decided, because the whole idea was to start out writing about the experience of going through breast cancer and all the wonderfully horrific things that happened to me that I can actually use to help someone else with. I had no support system. I had no support group. I tried like the American Breast Cancer, American Cancer Society and the Breast Cancer Division, trying to get a support group, but there was nothing that worked. And just all the things that happened to me, I thought I could use them. I could turn them to make them positive, but also use them with a little bit of humor. So I realized right off the bat I couldn't do it chronologically. This happened, and then that happened, and then that happened. So as a nurse, I saw that the Elizabeth Kubler-Ross 5 stages of grief. I've seen that at play throughout 40 years of nursing history. So right. I myself going through that and recognizing what I was doing, that it was okay and normal, that that helped me. So I wanted to do this in a way of approaching it that way. So I wrote these things almost like a blog, little short standalone things. And I'm going to group them, or they just are falling into groups of, this happened to me around the area of denial. This happened to me around the area of anger. So I have.
And so what would it take to just type them up? You want to put them in a blog?
Chair.
What?
Planting my butt in the chair.
Right. And do you want to just start a blog?
No.
Okay. Well, then I heartily invite you and encourage you to put your butt in the chair. Okay.
Well, I will do that. I am planning on doing my little pilot run of seeing what is this, if I can market and do a support group starting out. It is, I know it's going to be around the areas of grief, because this is the focus that I'm coming from. I'm getting clarity about the direction, what I want, the target audience, and all this good stuff. But there was one stupid little thing that got me is, what the heck do I call this? Do I have to have this catchy name to draw people in?
So you missed the very beginning. I don't think you were on yet when I was telling this story about in the late 80s, I met a lawyer who did not have business cards and was booked full. And he wrote his phone number on a piece of paper to me and handed it to me and said, I'm sorry, I just haven't had time to go get business cards. I've been so busy. You don't need a catchy name. You don't need a website. You don't need business cards. You need the people who need you.
Correct.
So things like a catchy name, a website, the book, all those things will come.
Okay.
And if you want to start a support group, start a support group. Do it in your living room. Do it in the library. Do it online. Do it with 3 people you know. Go to the hospital. Whatever.
Okay.
And, you know, maybe you'll get a catchy name and maybe you won't get a catchy name, but don't let it stop you from doing your work.
Okay. Is it possible? Okay, like support groups are basically free.
Sometimes.
Well, what I think of as like a basic support group is free, but the services that I will be providing will be using my human design, using my EFT, using all
Right.
the other tools that I've got. I need to make an income to.
Right. So don't call it support. I mean, therapists do support groups all the time and they charge. And you have credentials. You're a nurse and you've lived through it. And I don't think you can call it healing. So call it, don't call it a class. I don't know. Look up in the thesaurus and see what other words there are for classes, a series. You'll come up with something like 6 sessions, 12 sessions, whatever it is that you're going to do, or ongoing support group. Show up at this time and place, and yeah. So support group, it does not have to be free, but if you have a mental block that it has to be free, then change the name so that that's not stopping you every time you go ask for money. Just remove that block.
All right. I
But
have another kind of fell in my head.
class isn't quite right, but it's closer. Okay. It's good to see you here.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, so seminar. Yeah, there's lots of words. It's just finding a word and you can change the word again. So I pulled up your website, Gloria. Thank you. I love the deer. Nice. Nice. You got a lot of stuff you're working on. A lot of things you offer. So I've got a little bit of time if anyone has specific questions or would like to brainstorm anything specifically, or if you just want to talk.
I have a
I
question.
wasn't sure who would show up. Yeah, go.
The fact that I have an active license as an RN, and I have retired my nurse practitioner license, and I'm planning to do something specifically in a breast cancer target group. Do I need insurance? I mean, not working for a facility or a company, I don't carry the like an RN professional insurance because it wouldn't cover me on anything like this anyway.
So I have coaching insurance. I shouldn't say that out loud because now that I put that out in the universe, somebody's going to try to take advantage. I do have coaching insurance. I've never used it for anything. I do have disclaimers on my website that say, you know, if I give you advice and you don't make $1 million, it's not my fault. Don't come sue me for the $1 million. I think as long as you're not doing, I think it is probably worth just finding out about coaching insurance, as long as you don't call it healing, treating, curing, all those things.
That's what my website is, and my whole business is Healing Journeys by Design. So healing's already in there front and
But
center.
healing cancer is against the law.
Right. And I would never, never say that.
Right. So for this particular support group, I think you need to call it something around coaching.
Okay.
Obviously, you're going to heal them, but you're not allowed to tell them that.
Okay.
Right?
Well, I didn't know if I was putting myself open for liability if I didn't have something in place. But I just haven't really felt that what I do, and I do have disclaimers on my website.
So, I can't tell you not to get it, right?
Yeah.
I think you have to feel into, if you have a disclaimer and maybe you have people, read a terms of service or something like that before they join your group, and you explain that it's coaching and support, you should be okay. I have no idea what population of coaches have coaching insurance. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I think that would be a real interesting question for the community. Like, Gloria, do you have insurance? Like, what if someone says this regression caused me nightmares for the next 2 years? Right?
In the all the years that I have been working with people individually, that has never happened. No, I don't have any kind of insurance. I don't even have a business license. But I've managed to get quite a few clients. It's honestly, it's never happened that somebody has been dissatisfied with the conversations that they've had with me. But if they have, I would return their money to them. But I haven't run across it. And
right.
And I've been doing this since, I was doing it when I was working as a paralegal. People would come to my office and close the door. Young attorneys would want me to help them get out of there.
Yeah, I think, and so we can't give you legal advice here, right? And that's why I'm saying I can't tell you not to get it. I know mine's pretty cheap. So just, Google it and find out. And that would be a great question for the community to put in. I'm going to be working on the forums this weekend and the discussion groups to sort of organize them a bit better, and just like general random questions. That would be a great place to put in the random question one. May have lost to Galia. Okay, thanks. Anyone else have questions or comments or anything?
I have a question, Michelle. I didn't have an opportunity to listen to the interview you had with the lady who was doing the branding show. So I wanted to ask you, what is branding really? What does it look like, feel like?
That's a great question. And I've done a lot of interviews on it. And so I'm not sure which interview, but I'll tell you my basic thoughts about branding. Branding is something that comes from inside your soul first. Again, it's not about your business card, your font, your colors, and all those things. First, it has to come from inside who you are. That's the first piece of branding. So that 1 minute you're not saying, I work with kids and divorce, and the next minute you're saying, I work with human design. You've got to bring them under one umbrella somehow. So both of those things can be true, right? That you do both of those things, but how do they fit under an umbrella so that when you talk about who you are and who you serve, people get you? Then colors and fonts and all those things is an outreach of that. Now, I wear these glasses as often as I can because people recognize me when I have these glasses on. Right? And so it's become part of my branding. That's so that people know, oh yeah, that's Michelle. I've talked with her, or I've seen her on a webinar, or I know that's her. If I take them off and my hair's different, people are like, is that really her? I've only met her once, or I've only seen her once, right? But when I wear the glasses, it's me. And so that helps with my branding. But my branding first is I work with people in conscious business, and I hate that word because we've so gone past that, but still, that's sort of who I am and what I do. That includes all kinds of tools like marketing and websites and book publishing. It includes tools like qigong and really going inside and moving energy and clearing blocks in your etheric body. It includes tools like journaling and creativity and walking and retreats and massage, right? But I don't say I'm a creativity coach because that's outside of my branding. It goes underneath this big umbrella first. So your umbrella, Gloria, I think, and we've only just met, I think your umbrella is you really help people on their soul journey.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then everything else are just tools. So
Right.
They're just tools.
Absolutely.
They're just part of your toolbox. So then it's, how does your brand get birthed from that? Is everything on your website pointing to
Living from your essence? That's what it is. It's living from your core truth. And
Right.
those are tools to get you to access that and to apply it. That's it.
Right. Now, I will say, so everything on your social media that you write, your website, all of that should exude that piece about living from your essence, including how you dress, how you look, all of that when we want to go like how branding goes out into the world.
Okay.
Right? But it's from your soul and your own heart first. So if someone says, oh, use red because red sells, yeah, it's true. And that changes. And is that something that comes from the inside of you first? Is that a color you're drawn to? Is that a color you want to use? Right? All of those things. Mm-hmm. So, and the other thing I'll say about branding is it is important at some point to use the same colors, use the same font, I wear my glasses to have a consistent message, but all of that comes as a result of knowing who you are and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Is that helpful?
Yeah, it was just a mystery to me what exactly is meant by branding.
Well, and branding for most people, when they say, I'm going to create your brand package, it would be, let's get your logo and your colors and your font, and let's choose a couple of images that you can use over and over again. And all of that's important, but it's not the first step. Let's go back to the business card story. If you can run a business without a business card, then you can run a business without branding, because especially these days, we're back to personal communication, right? We're going back to how can I connect with you as a human being? And that's what sells. Right.
Yeah.
So welcome, P4GL. Wow. Can I unmute you? Nod if I can unmute you. Well, you didn't nod, but you're looking at me. I'm going to unmute you.
Okay.
Hi, you're laughing. You're muted. No, let me unmute you again. Hold on. I can't hear a word you're saying. I'm going to unmute you. No, are you? There you go. Hi, you unmuted. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Deanna.
Oh, hi, Deanna.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
It's so great to see you. And just to be clear, you're the Deanna I talked to this morning?
Yes.
Awesome. Yay. So glad you're here, and it's so nice to meet you.
You too.
Yeah. So we've just been sharing a little bit about who we are and what each of us does. Do you want to just say hi and introduce yourself and tell people what project you're working on?
Hi, I'm Deanna Nakasteen, and I'm writing a book now and having it published, and I want to start a business around the book. So that's my.
Which is about?
It's about community. It's called Creating Community Wherever You Are.
Nice. And that's something I think everybody in this group and everybody who will be in the Matrix Maker space will really appreciate and love having your energy, because that's what we're doing.
Thank you.
right? I'm looking forward to your input. And you're coming to the retreats too, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Which is a whole separate thing we'll talk about another time. So anything today you want some help with? You and I already talked today, so that's kind of cool. But
Yes, I don't have any question on mine right now. I'm just in here to listen.
yeah, thanks. So we've been going an hour because it started at
I thought you just
noon
started.
time.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, it started at noon Mountain Time, so we've been going a while here, but I can hang out for a few more minutes. Does anyone else have questions or thoughts or anything else to say? Oh, Wagner Consulting. Joy class. I'm going to go look at your website now, Wagner Consulting. Nice. So can I brag on your website for just a minute?
Mhm.
Is that all right? So anyone who wants to click over to the Wagner Consulting Service website that's just been put up in the chat, I want to say a couple of things about this website and the branding piece that really does work because of where we have moved to in marketing. So if we're just going to talk marketing for a minute. So let me see, I may have this extra large. Let me look. The fonts are really clear. It's pretty clear where to click. The logo is beautiful. So after I said, you know, all the stuff, you don't need a logo, you don't need good fonts, all these things to get started in business. But at some point, you're going to want these things. And this is a really nice, well done, modern website. It looks good. It looks modern. There's something at the top that says call us or email us today. We don't have to go click around to try to figure out how to contact you. It's right there. If I'm so inclined, I'm going to just click on it. My guess is it's probably clickable on my phone because I hover over it and my little finger comes up on my mouse. So that's cool. Helping parents play fair. I can think of 3 or 4 women right now that would be like, I just wish my ex would play fair, right? You can just hear them saying it. So it resonates. If we do the click down services we offer, forms, policies, payments, it's all really clear what to do. There's an adorable child up there. You can just scroll down and see everything. So it's a clean, easy to read and follow website. So I really like it. So kudos to you. From an SEO perspective, you didn't ask me this, but from an SEO perspective, I would want to get something about divorcing parents in the top, and maybe you have that in the back end somewhere on one of the other pages, because for Google, for you to show up, that would help. But you may have that somewhere on a different page, and you didn't ask me for any advice. So, you still there? Or did I lose you?
Yeah, I'm here. I had a professional do this. So
Yeah, you can
other
tell.
than the content and the info, I have a fabulous web person that did it all.
Yeah.
Which is perfect for a projector because I gave him the info and
Yeah,
he did
and
the
it
work.
looks nice, and you can tell. So do you know if you go to an incognito window, which means a window that doesn't have all your cookies and all of your browsing history in it, and you put in something like help for divorcing parents, or get my, I don't know, what do people Google?
We're working on it. Some of the, the big words, divorce and custody, children, those, I have to keep changing the content apparently to keep the rating.
So here's here's what I'd recommend. You don't want a word like divorce. You
Right.
need a whole phrase, right? So you're going to want something like help my children through divorce.
Mhm.
And then you want a page on your website somewhere that's called helping children through divorce. And that's why people blog,
Mhm.
because then it could be a blog that's called that. And then you
Right.
have a paragraph about what is the best way to help children through divorce and helping parents play nice. And then that would be that page, and that would be how you'd get that search term up on SEO.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
the real simplified version.
Mhm.
There's one thing that I can see. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can tell your webmaster. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Right here, when I hover, I'm up here. See where it says just another WordPress site?
Yes.
He can fix that. Is it a he or a she?
A he.
He can fix that really fast. It's just in the settings,
Mhm.
so that it should say something like helping navigating children through divorce or something. SEO should be right there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's just something I happened to see. It's a beautiful site, so he just missed it for whatever reason. That stuff happens.
Yes.
Nice. So right here, you're really clear that, from a branding perspective,
Mhm.
this is a corporate kind of website, right? It's
Mhm.
consulting. It's a little more high end. It's not hippy dippy goddess lady hanging out in the hot tub.
No.
But that's how you introduced yourself at the very beginning, right? That's
Right.
who
Right.
you are, but you have chosen to use a different kind of persona for this site.
Well, this is because I work as an expert witness in court.
Right.
So I have I wear the suit and the whole bit for
Right.
that.
And so just to answer the branding question and taking it a step further, you have chosen to have this site express a different part of who you are inside. So it's still who you are, because you can't put on that suit and go be an expert witness if it's not somewhere inside of you. It's just a different side of your personality that you're expressing in this professional website. And it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. And it's not going to be a feng shui website, right? So if or the Clear Spaces website, that's going to have a different kind of look and feel.
All right.
Cool. All right, I'm going to quit sharing my screen. All right, anything else? Anybody have anything else to say? Otherwise, I'm going to go have some lunch. It's good to meet you all. It's good to have you all here. I think we have about 30 people in the community, which is a great way to get started. You are all early adopters, so thank you for that. And one of the things I'm going to do this weekend is put up a place that if you see bugs, if you have ideas, if you have suggestions, because there's a few buggy things still. And until we get people in there working it, I can't figure out what's working and what's not working. So thank you all for being early adopters and coming on this journey with Karen and I and each other. Love you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll see you in the community.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers.